Hello, my name is Ilona, and in this short video I want to talk about free will, which is very interesting. I just taped my Dutch video about free will, and to be very honest, I have no idea what I've exactly talked about in that video, so I'm trying to do a recap, but I'll just see what comes up, because usually I'm in a flow when I talk in these videos. I don't have a script. I sometimes have a few words that I want to mention. But the free will is a very interesting concept, and I truly believe that we are in a free will zone, and that's why there is this extreme duality. Because free will means that you can decide anything you want, also against life, and you could really end up in very dark situations. That's why this extreme duality is here, so we can experience it, and we can have, of course, the free will to experience everything we need. I believe it's all necessary to balance ourselves. So the extreme light we can experience, but we can also experience the extreme dark. And I believe in a lot of lifetimes that is what we've been doing as soul in this free will zone, to experience it all so we can balance it. It can come together. And that moment in time when we do that, we don't have to experience that anymore, because then we have that basis already. So the free will is really, like I've mentioned, it's the possibility to also, do whatever you want. We're sovereign beings, and realizing that we are powerful creators, we are spiritual beings in a human experience, we can pretty much do whatever we want. And that's really very important that we start to understand that. Of course, we've been in this situation, and like I said, with a free will zone, there are also other forces that, of course, will choose to go against life, choose against God, against their soul, that, of course, are ultimately the dark energies. It's also an experience. They have decided to experience that in the extreme, and probably a lot of them are not aware of that they were choosing this, and a lot of them are completely stuck in their own world and in their own dark energies, just like other people can be, not necessarily in the dark energies, but they can be stuck in their creation as well, not realizing that they are the creator of their creation, because we are all, children of God. We are all creating. And the free will zone is, of course, that we, create through free will. So the dark energies are the ones that have completely severed themselves from the source energy. That's why they need us ultimately in this world that we are in right now to create. That's why they want us in a very low frequency, because they need that frequency. They feed off it so they can start creating what they want, and they want full control, obviously, of us. I already made a video about that. And ultimately, I think they also use, this is also very important, they need, in a way, because we are all sovereign beings, they need somewhere our permission to do these things. And this is getting very interesting, because ultimately a lot of us have never given us permission. At least that's what we think when all these horrible things are happening. But on a very energetic level, we have given away our power. A lot of people have given away their powers to other people, to other institutions, their governments, things like that. And they, through the government, are using that as permission. Also with series, with films, with these rituals like the Olympic Games, how they start with all these sports, how do you say this, like the Super Bowl and things like that. They use that to create, in their minds, permission. So if you see things on TV, things like that, and you're not responding to it, because really a lot of people are living on a very unaware level, then that to them means that's permission. And so they've twisted and changed it, and I do believe that it's now being corrected, that that's not really the way it should have been done, that that's not ultimately free will. So I do believe that we are now in a completely different situation, but we also had to experience that as well, so that it has two sides to it. We had to experience that to fully start understanding our own power, because you can only truly understand how powerful you are if you've given away your power, and the other side of the coin. And now we are switching back to understanding our own power and understanding that we are way more powerful than we think, and that it's really changing, and that way we can take back our permission, because once we become aware of things and some things are happening, we can also decide not to give permission, like what's happening with the stinks, of course, worldwide the past 4 years. A lot of people are like, no, we're not going to do that. And that's something they don't want, because ultimately they can't really push through that. And I think we are in that situation right now. That's why it spiritually is changing. The awareness is now changing. The Great Awakening is happening, because I think this experiment got completely out of control. But like I said, it all needed to be experienced as well, because it helps create this other reaction towards this counter reaction of the Great Awakening. So we have, of course, the dark energies, and it's up to us now with the free will and our soul contract what we're doing here. And this is something I wanted to mention as well, because the soul contract, there was a question someone asked me, are we really truly creating our lives, or are we just following our soul contract? And I believe that our soul contract was created by our soul. So we have created it ourselves as well. And I believe it is flexible in a way. There are things in your soul contract when you come here that you want to heal, that you want to confront, that you will have to deal with. And if you deal with those things and if you heal them, then of course your contract in a way will change, and you become more aware. And the more you are aware of who you are, and the healing you can do now with yourself and with your energies, of course, ultimately you won't need your soul contract anymore. You will outgrow it. At least that's how I see it, because then you will start making decisions yourself, and that's very important. There's a saying in Dutch, and I'm sure in other countries as well, if you don't make a decision, don't choose, you are choosing anyway. You have these people that's when you talk to them, what you want to do, oh, I don't mind. What you want to do, what you want to eat, oh, I'll just follow you. And they don't make any decisions at all, but ultimately they are making decisions. They're just letting someone else decide for them, but that is a decision to make as well, giving away your power. And so it's very important now for people to realize choices is taking your power back. And if you let someone else make your choices for you, then of course you're giving away your power and your energy, which they are. At least some people will hopefully use your energy for good. But of course we still have those dark energies that will use the energy in another way. So these are things that are very important. So your soul contract, you can, in a way, outgrow it. I do believe that if you heal everything, you start working with yourself, then you will change, of course, what is necessary, and then way you change your life. You become more in control of your life. But there are also people not doing that. They don't want any, responsibility in a way, or there are so many things happening they won't be able to handle. And they will, leave life with a soul contract that they still have to work on. And of course, then ultimately they will be brought back in one way or form to finish that soul contract. And it can take a lot of time. And especially if you don't work through things. I also had an example in my Dutch video about certain people, they have a relationship that went completely wrong. And then, they walk away from it, but then they'll meet another one, and the person they're with is even more horrible than the person they left. And that could continue that cycle if they don't look inside of themselves and see what the energies, the patterns are, why they are actually attracting those people. That's so important. Then you can change that. Maybe they feel very unloved. Maybe they feel they don't deserve love or deserve respect or anything deep down inside. That could be convictions they carry with them. That needs to be changed, because otherwise you will just keep repeating the same cycle, and it will get tougher because your soul wants to heal. Your soul contract wants it healed. And when you step away from something and you're not working through that, you're going to get a more difficult mirror the next time around. And that's kind of how it works. It's not punishing you. It just wants to show you, confront you, so you can heal it. But a lot of people are completely unaware of that and will see it as bad luck, or oh, just me, I can never get a break and things like that, and could fall into that victim mentality. So free will is really about making your own choices. I do believe we are in this extreme situation with that extreme duality, so we can now balance it, have the light and the dark. I do believe that we've had all of that experience as a soul, because that's how you grow, and that we're now bringing it together so we can balance it. And when you're balanced, you can create a completely different way of living, and a different way, so we don't have to encounter that extreme duality anymore. I think we're outgrowing that. And I think that's very important to realize, because most people are brought up with this idea that you have to have it tough to really have a victory and to really grow, and it has to be difficult, you know, because life has been difficult, obviously, with the dark energies purposely putting us in difficult situations, keeping us there so they can control us better. But I think we're moving away from that, unless, of course, it's your choice that you still want to experience that. But I think you can learn a lot from joyful experiences. We don't have to have it difficult to grow. We don't need to be in these awful situations to, oh, finally I see the light. We can have different ways of getting there and learning. And I think we're moving away from this extreme, tough, dark, you know, energies, and we're working towards this balanced energy, which will be completely different, and we'll be more and more aware of our own power. And in that way, we'll be able to just create what we want to create, and really from what feels right to us. So that's what my perception is of free will, and of course the connection with the soul contract. I'd like to leave it at this and hope to see you in another video. Bye.